All right, folks, moment of truth. Getting ready to put my new machine, the DR Pro XL-30 brush hog, and I am getting ready to go into parts unknown and see how well this bad boy works on day 41. Here we go. What is up, folks, and happy Tuesday afternoon. It's going to be day 41 working down here at the ranch. It is love bug season in the south. I don't know if you all have love bugs where you're at, but they're all over my camera, all over me. And they come around about once a year, and they're pretty annoying for a few weeks. With all that being said, my neighbor over there is building away at his house. I can see it through the woods, so that's pretty cool, man. He's been doing some serious work over there. On my side of the property line here, it's been almost 2 weeks since I've been down here to the ranch. I had to go out of town last week for the National Fireworks Association up in Rogers, Arkansas. I had a great time, got to meet a lot of really great people, got to see a lot of great fireworks, but I am glad to be home. It wore me out, and I had been having withdrawals from getting out here and doing some work. And I got some more good news. My machine has arrived. It got here yesterday afternoon. I got it finally completely put together this afternoon, and I've kind of given it a little bit of a test run to learn how to drive it around. I actually tried to kind of go through here with it to see how it would do. It doesn't set that low to the ground, so a lot of this stuff it didn't do anything to it. So that's just going to be something I'm going to have to figure out as time goes on, because my hope was that I could basically use it to clear out all this dead stuff that's laying here instead of having to rake it up or gather it up. But anyways, I am getting ready to really put her to the test. We're going to try to work our way down this trail here and meet up with the trail back there, where I'm planning on setting up my deer feeder, and also starting a trail to try to get back to the very back end of my property at some point in time. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. I really want to test this thing out in the next couple of days that I come down here and work with it, and see just how much progress we're going to get done with it. I was telling you a couple videos back, lost track at this point in time, but oh, there's spider webs everywhere. This stuff right here is really thick, but here's one trail I got going back to the camp. We got this trail going back to the camp. So at some point I'm going to see if I can penetrate this, and I may have to actually do it from the other side and kind of split this in half, so I have a trail going right down the middle, and I can start working on either side of it and start opening this up just a little bit. So I said in one of my last videos, I have probably 8,000 things that I want to do and need to do, and we can only do them one or two at a time, folks. So day 41, here we go. So you may remember one point in time, maybe not, I said my biggest concern about going over the trails that have already kind of been runned over is there's a lot of these sticks and stumps sticking up out of the ground. So I got to this point here, and like all this stuff right here is still in the ground, and the machine didn't seem to like that too well. I don't know if you guys can see all these ladybugs or love bugs. There's like millions of them. So anyway, it got a little bit caught up in here, so I'm gonna use my Sawzall to try to cut some of these up out of the ground. Other than that, it's cutting through there really well. And if you look right here, this is where I'm thinking about going almost straight across to go to that other trail. That's where we caught all the deer, the buck and the doe and the fawn out there. And it looks like it's a pretty easy path, but I think this is it's gonna work a lot better getting into areas that haven't been touched yet, because again, there's a lot of these trees that are still halfway into the ground, and the machine didn't seem to like that. It got stuck a little bit, but my plan is to try to get back to this point today. That'll meet up with the other trail there, and then kind of start working my way that way back deeper into the property. So we'll see how this does. I gotta cut some of these trees up out of the ground so it doesn't keep getting stuck. So here we go. I'm gonna try out my Merlin app. There's a bird. Hold on. Blue jay. Cool. I mean, I guess it's right. Take its word for it. I don't know. Doesn't exactly sound like it. Anyway, this is a cool app my buddy Jeff told me about. It's called Merlin. And you can record the bird sounds you hear, and then it'll come up with what it thinks it is. Ooh, I gotta take me a break for a minute. Things like trying to break a miniature pony or something. The ground is very unlevel out here too. I'm seeing it even over here where there hasn't been any work done. So that thing's like up and down and getting stuck every now and then. But you saw all that dust flying. My neighbor was actually telling me about this last time we talked, that over on his land there used to actually be a logging road that went deeper back, and they brought trucks in to pull out logs. Logging road, right? So he ran into a whole bunch of really deep ruts where trucks and such had been through, and that's kind of what I'm running into here. Was when they brought that machine back here, there's some ruts, and then you know, that's it, that it got high centered on one of them there, and then it finally broke free, and then it just threw a bunch of dust up in the air. But you know, this thing, it's doing the trick. I'm gonna really be curious to see if it does a little bit better in some of the areas that have not been touched. But again, folks, this is some thick brush, and this point back here, I think my battery got hot and shut down. It might do it again here in a second. I'm gonna hurry up, I'm gonna take a break and then get back at it. This right here is the farthest I've been back on my property. So once I start breaking through there, we're in brand new territory. I'm just gonna try to go in a little bit once I get to this, once I get to where these two trails meet. It looks like I'm gonna have to cut a couple more of these trees up out of the ground. There's a big stump right there next to the tire. Well, anybody that's been watching my videos long enough knows that if it's not one problem, it's about 6 of them. But my camera keeps shutting down. It is hot, folks. It is still hot. We're in the middle of September and it is still 95, I think is what it was. And so this thing keeps shutting down. My Sawzall blade is pretty well done for, and of course I forgot to buy some Sawzall blades. And so when I was cutting these stumps out of the ground over here, it basically started a little friction fire, and I had to get that put out. These love bugs, now if you don't have love bugs, don't know anything about them, they're not dangerous or anything like that. They're just super annoying. And when you're out here in the woods where you've got black widows and you've got brown recluses and you got all kinds of creepy crawlers that are itching to bite you, every time one lands on me, I'm like, ah, what is that? But anyway, there's still a couple really big stumps sticking up out of the ground here, and I'm gonna have to be really careful not to run into those. But I'm gonna try to get around this corner. I'm gonna try to open up a pocket right over there. I'm gonna try to open up a pocket and kind of look for a place where I can start putting the deer feeder at, and also maybe start working a trail back, because again, I haven't been any farther back than that right there. I've got, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half of daylight left, so depending on where I'm at after I get that done, I may start working my way back to the camp and try to open up that little area that I was talking about, maybe putting a tree stand in. And as I was walking this way through here, I noticed there looks like a real easy, the trail I think that the deer have been using, that I might be able to take this thing straight across and kind of make a trail going from this trail to that trail in the area where I may put my deer stand at. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna plug away at this for a little bit more and then start working my way towards the camp. Then we're going to go gather up the SIM cards from the trail cams. I know I definitely have a couple on this kind of first trail camera. I saw a couple on my Vosker. I had the Vosker pointing that direction. So we'll trade out the SIM cards, and then that's probably going to be it for today. So here we go. Well, it seems like even this thing isn't tough enough for some of these vines out here. I don't know how well it picked up, but I kind of rode over one and then it just started like dragging these other trees down into the road. But all right, folks, here we go. This is somewhat the moment of truth. We're gonna try to get in here, and I'm gonna try to open up a big circle in here and see how well this thing does. As far as I know, nobody's been back in this area. So here we go. That made me feel like Tim the Toolman Taylor. Oh, 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 oh. Seriously. That thing, I mean, all except this little stump right here, it had a little trouble with. But you can see it's kind of hilly in here. And it kind of drops off. It even drops off down into there. Excuse me, all this dust got me congested up here. But man, it took down those trees really with no problem. It was the stumps that it gets kind of caught up on. There's a real big stump right here, so I didn't go over that. I thought there was. If not, I'll get rid of that. But other than that, man, it cleared it out pretty good. I think, though, maybe we'll see what happens. I may end up bringing my four-wheeler out here before I go way too far deeper back in there. Mostly because I hit this little hill right here going down. And there for a second I thought I was going to lose it off in there and not be able to get it out. So I don't know if I'm not worried about it. I feel like I got a starting point where I can kind of start working my way, but you know, I'm thinking about pushing a trail straight back, trying to get it as wide as I can, and then I'll continue to open this up. But I almost think they push some dirt back here, maybe, because that's like it's like a dirt hill right there. But that goes kind of down. But boy, even some of the stuff I thought it was going to have trouble with, like all this real thick stuff, it pretty much cut right through there, and probably would keep going if I wanted to keep going. But I just, again, very first day I have it, and I'm told you earlier, I'm nervous. Like, I've bought stuff and the first day broke it, and been like, give you an example, I had a drone one time and I was so excited to get that drone. I crashed and burned that thing in about 45 seconds and decided I was going to hold off on any more drone flying. But I think at some point that'd be cool too. But I opened up this circle here, this little area here. I'm going to go ahead and knock that down. I may just kind of open this up a little bit more, and then we're going to start working our way back to the camp. I'm going to see if I can open up that little area. Matter of fact, I may see if I can make a trail going across. You'll see what I mean here in just a minute. So here we go. All right, folks, so I'm running out of daylight here, so I'm going to try to shoot a path straight across over to the other path, and perhaps come back, make it a little bit wider path, and then basically in this area over here on the other side of these trees is where I'm going to open it up probably the next time I'm out here, and that's where I'm thinking about putting my deer stand. Here we go. All right, that went through there pretty well. There's definitely an area right in here, and my hope is that I can open all this up and then kind of get rid of some of the bigger trees so that I can kind of see in every direction. But here's the other trail. So I think if I make the stand tall enough, I should be able to see both of these trails, and then eventually I'll start cleaning some of this area up in here. So that machine is working really well. Even on this really uneven land, it's again, here's a big dip. I was kind of worried about that. It'd probably been tricky if it was soft in there, you know, been raining. But it took down them little saplings pretty easily. So eventually I'll start opening up this whole area. But for now, I'm gonna get this back to camp. I'm gonna get all my tools and stuff back to camp, and then we're gonna take the round and we'll go get the trail cams, the SIM cards out of the trail cams. Here we go. Ooh, I'm not gonna lie, that was fun. It was a lot of work. I think my adrenaline's flowing, but I feel like I might end up being kind of sore come tomorrow, because that thing's like riding a little bucking bronco all over the place. But man, I really feel like the areas that haven't been touched are actually going to be easier to clean up without the big stumps. I ate up a whole lot of real estate today with that little thing, and it was just kind of a test run, if you will. But I'm pretty excited to get back out here and just kind of see how much more I can get done the next time I'm out here. So I think that first part's the roughest part, because I had to cut so many stumps out of the ground. Folks, I think we should have a couple deer on this camera, because I saw a couple on the Vosker. I'll probably show that to you now. And they were coming this direction. So let's see what we got. All right, see what we got on this one. So yeah, I think a couple of them came through this little side trail here the other day, actually, maybe this morning. So of course this spot here may be the very next spot I hit. That way we've got a big loop around through there. And I'm probably also going to change my Vosker. I'm going to probably spin it around. I don't think the deer actually set my camera off. I think it was when that freaking dog again. I think it was that I think the wind set it off, and it just so happened there were some deer there at the time, because it didn't actually indicate that it saw anything. But it hasn't popped up human and, you know, off-road vehicle for the last few times anyway. So I'm gonna switch that thing around, facing down the road here and kind of out into this area before I leave. So definitely we should have at least 3 captures on this one. I saw one, it was the buck. He must have come out through here and then started going that way. So I might show you that one from the Vosker here before I show you what we picked up on here. Here we go. I'll put a couple of the good captures that I got on this video and then do a separate video later, because I got a lot of captures while I was gone. All right, there's that one. So, you know, folks, it's been a crazy week here in America. I know anybody that watches me knows I don't get into politics. I'm not really going to get into politics. I feel like the temperature is really hot all around the world right now, and I'm not talking about necessarily the weather, but I think it's another reason I'm in the process of this journey, is to kind of have a place that I can kind of get away to, break away from all the madness of the everyday world, because I think that's part of the problem that everybody has. You look at the cities and even big towns, and it's like everybody's right on top of each other. And I think it makes us all just a little bit nuts. All right, so here's the path we made through there. That goes to the other side. Anyway, you know, this place kind of helps me come and get away from all of that, and I hope it helps you guys get away from all of that. And you know, I think we need to all figure out how to start getting along. We've been saying that since the 90s. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about it. And I definitely appreciate everybody coming out along with me here on this journey. And we're breaking new ground. We're getting ready to get even deeper back into here. Again, I'd like to make a trail. I kind of actually started this right here that I'm hoping to just push back as far as I can go until I find my pink ribbons back there that tell me where the back of my land's at. So that way I know where it's at. For one thing, I can see what's back there, get into some new stuff, and it keeps me a little bit farther off of the road. I mean, my little lean-to's plenty off the road right now, but I don't know, it's just again, I live right off the highway right now, and it's like I get tired of watching and listening and hearing the cars go by. So other than that jet flying above me, all you can hear is crows and birds. The love bugs have laid down just a little bit. They're not as annoying right now, but I think everybody needs their little piece of serenity, and this is mine. And again, I appreciate all of you coming along on this journey. And hey, we're kind of just getting started, folks. We are just getting started. All right, so this one, I have no idea if we caught anything, but I feel like those deer kind of hang out in this little area back here. And again, there's going to the other side. So let's see what this one picked up. Well, the weather folks are acting like in the next couple of weeks it's finally going to start cooling down, which is nice. I think I said it earlier, but we appear to be getting into the dry season a little bit earlier. Normally it's about the 1st of October, so I don't know how much rain that we're going to be getting here in the next couple of weeks, but it does look like I need to kind of come in here and do a little bit of weed eating. So kind of overview of the machine, it seems like you're not really going to be able to like come and mow up this little stuff because it doesn't really get super close to the ground. But as far as going in here and running this stuff over and getting rid of it, I gotta tell you, I was surprised. I watched a bunch of videos, I talked to a lot of people, but then sometimes, you know, you get the machine in front of you or whatever, and it's like, I didn't do that great. I thought it did a really great job. It's really pretty easy to maneuver. Now, I got myself into a couple of situations where like I was lower than the machine, and that made me a little bit nervous. But as soon as you let go of the trigger, you know, you got to hold it to get it to go. So as soon as you let go, the thing stops, so that helps. But I look at all this stuff in here, And I think that's going to be a piece of cake to get all that cleaned up when I'm ready to get all of it cleaned up. It's pretty easy to operate, and it does the trick. So I don't think I could be much more happier with my DR Pro XL-30. I hope I said that right. But again, folks, I appreciate you. It's going to be the end of day 41, and as excited as I am, I may be back out here tomorrow for day 42. So we're going to see what happens. I hope everybody's having a great week. We'll catch you next time.